Okay, that's all well and good. Oh, it's not picking up the music. Oh my god. Shoot. Wait, actually, maybe it is picking up the music. It's just really quiet. Hold on. Oh yeah, it was. It's just insanely quiet. Okay, there we go. All right, let's let people know I have gone live. Hope you all are doing well today. Okay, let's do this. I got my Hey Nathan. Okay, I think I'm just about ready to go. Just gonna make one final note. I'll copy link address. Oh, for fuck's sake, come on. There we go. There we go. Okay, we're good. That's enough of that. Ready for screws and painted black and latex hands? Okay, I'm curious. But now, we're good to go. Let me get that streaming notification off and over with. So there we go. Curious to see this thing in action. So, let me get that a little more centered. That's it. Sturdy as fuck. Ooh, I'm looking forward to that. Anyways, here we go. Here we go. I think that's good. Now, Hey, yo, welcome to the Uncle Show. Today we got this thing. This is the Master Grade Shining Gundam from G Gundam. I built the Burning Gundam a little while ago, or God Gundam, whatever. And I have a massive soft spot for the old, for the Shining Gundam design. So I figured, why not build this one? And rather than just get, the real grade or the Shining grade, real grade, or what's its face, or the high grade, why don't we take a look at the OGMG? So let's open this up. Lots of different plastics. So first, manual, always important. And this is interesting. A tiny Domankashu figure, very different to how they normally do. And there they are, screws. As Chaffee mentioned in chat, a lot of screws. So this ought to be interesting. So the reason I'm building this, by the way, is because, well, I was planning on, originally, I was actually planning on building my first pre-2008 Gunpla kit, but latex Doma. Is he actually made out of latex? That'll be interesting. But yeah, originally the plan was to build a. Originally the plan was to build like this much older kit, which I'll show off. But unfortunately, with the older kit, I couldn't find it for a reasonable price, or even a listing that wasn't like an obvious scam. So what I did was, my local sort of Gunpla supplier, or another like action figure supplier. They had it for a pretty reasonable price at around, how much was it? I want to say like $30. So I was like, you know what? I'll just get that. Go from there. Because this kit, if I remember, if the box is accurate, came out. Came out in, I want to say, around 2001. So that's pretty early on in sort of, that's pretty early on in terms of master grades still. It was before the, the big like master grade boom of the mid 2000s. And also before the sad kind of decline of the 2010s, of the mid 2010s. So, this was still when you could make the argument that master grade was still kind of the most important, or one of the more important. Bondi size classes, but of course, saying that. Oh my goodness, there's so many screws. It's not like master grades necessarily went away. It's just that they're just not as popular. And of course, high grade was and is always going to be a lot more popular. But at the same time, it's just a shame. I like master grade as standard. Oh. Ew, they're all rubber. I'm rubber, you are glue. And meanwhile, hard plastic, some other hard plastic picks. Okay, so we got A here. Okay, and then we need D. Then we need E. So normally with master grades, I don't like pair them up necessarily, just for, and then we got all these rubber bits, or latex, I guess. I'm a bit worried, about how a lot of these will survive long term, but we'll find out. Trust me, use the rubber V-fin. The normal one will break due to the design. Ew, that ain't good. Okay, then we got some transfers and stickies. So there we go. I'm guessing this is the more rubbery one. So I'll put these aside on this special little runner. Then we got the screws. I mean, I knew screws are coming, but it's still just so funny that, like, to think about how this would, because nowadays screws are very uncommon. Well, what was like, someone will know, what was like the last major gunplay kit to use screws even? All the decals are stickers in this kit, okay. Okay, let us begin. I kind of feel like the camera's tilted a bit and it looks really ugly. Hold on. Nope, that's even worse. I don't need a zoom in on the crotch, on my crotch. That's a lot better. Okay, let's get to work. Shining Gundam. Let us begin with G. Which one's G? Let me check which runner this is. That's I. I'm guessing, yep, this is G. Let's get out Mr. God hands. Last one to have screws was the Master Grade EXS, but that was a reissue. Got it. G25, 44, and 4. And wow, we're going to be diving into screws already. Ooh, we also got some pistons, actually. That's kind of cool, especially because, oh, we're building the arms first. That's... one sec. F. It says we need G44, but... Where's G44? Oh, there it is. Right at the top there. Weird. Okay, then we need G4. And wow, we're diving right into it already. We have our first case of screws. I need one that's, yeah, nice and small. Not too big, not too big. Okay, I need TP2. Is this TP2? Yeah, it is. I will put all the screws over here for now. Okay, that's this one. So let's see here now. We got this little ring piece. Then we plug it in like this. Then we plug it in like that. We just turn it in like normal. Whoop. There we go. Try not to overtime. Do not cut the nubs at the end of the pegs. Oh yeah, I see them. I see them. Okay. Oh, these are weird. So they're just kind of clicking like that. That does not feel the most secure, but it's what it says to do. Okay, I need some more parts in G. So G27, 2, 1, and 5. And I need 27 too. Then immediately we need more screw. It's time to get more screws in. So we need one of these and one of these one of these little dark ones. Okay. How do we get? The only question is, how do we get that in? Oh, like that. Interesting. Okay. All right. G7. Hey, Shaq. Nothing much. Just building the Master Grade Shining Gundam. This is a, as I mentioned before, you joined. This is a much older kit from 2001. Uh-oh. Did I use the wrong type of screw? Hold on. Yeah, I did. No, 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 void. There we go. Nice and tight. Stop rolling. Okay, and then that's covered up. And then we need E10 for ages 10 and up. God, E10. What a weird, wacky rating. It's such an awkward kind of like rating, because like then we turn this all the way around so that it's in nice and tight. Then we need E11. All right. Arms coming along well. We got to get, all right, now we got to get our first polycap in, guys. Let's hope what happened last time doesn't happen here. Oh, we need 2. Excuse me, oh my God. So now we need D11. 13, 14, 12, and 15. So how you doing, folks? Hi, Johnny. Hey, Big. I want Master Duel after summoning Happy Lover. Hey, feels good, man. So I need 13 for this side. But yep, just building up a gun. The Shining Gundam. And I'm building this one because we built the Burning Gundam relatively recently. So I figured why not build. And I wanted to build like a more old school Gundam. And this was one that was, you know, this was one that was on sale for a pretty good price. So I'm like, yeah, I'll get this one. An older Shining Gundam. I'm not older Shining, I'm an older Master Grade. Will I get more? I don't know, maybe. I did think about if I were to get more older kits, would I get like some other high grades? Of the older high grades, maybe. I did think about getting the older high grade Bolt Gundam just because. Bandai, for the love of God, when is Bolt Gundam coming? Hey, he's like the last. I know like Gogo isn't like considered the most important character in all of Gundam, but like, come on, man, give us the chance to complete the Shuffle Alliance at least. For the new sets, you made all these nice like premium kits, you know, for everybody, okay? And all that's left is Golgo. But you're doing the Shadow Gundam first, which, you know, cool, but also finish the team. I hate whenever toy companies do that, whenever there's like, they have a team that's almost complete, but are kind of take their sweet time to actually finish them. Like Hasbro, for the love of God, can we finally get those chug updates of Rampage and Depth Charge, please? They're like the only ones we still need. For like the main Beast Wars cast, not including, you know, what's his face? Not including, you know, Russian Rampage, which Russian Rampage we'll probably get once we finally get once we finally get like a Transmetal 2 Tudor, because that figure is literally a Transmetal 2 Tudor with an alternate head. All right, let's see. Building an oldie today. Yeah, I always loved the little one. Easier to handle, better stability. I might get it. We'll see. But I will say, just because this was a case where I wanted this guy because A, I wanted to try an older Master Grade kit, and B, I kind of have this, the other guy as like a nice, the other guy. I have like the real grade as a nice representation for that size. Cause I am planning on I am planning on collecting more from G Gundam just because so far, okay, so I've only watched 3 Gundam shows properly so far. This, G Gundam, the OG series, and God, what's the other one? SD Gundam Force from back in the day. Okay. And for me so far, I legit think G Gundam is probably going to be my favorite Gundam series. It's just, it speaks to me. It speaks to me in a way that it's hard to put into words. I just love G Gundam so much. So, actually, I do want to kind of get into talking about Master Grades as a whole. Yeah, both are a bit more sub, but they're slightly different, yeah. Fair enough. Speaking of like, so obviously, we know that Master Grades they used to be, really huge for Bandai. Like, obviously, high grades are always going to be higher priority. We know this. We're not silly. But at the same time, let's talk about that. Why did Master Grade kind of fall off in a priority for Bandai? Because obviously, I know like an obvious answer people are going to give is like, the rise of real grades, which, it's not a bad answer. But, well, as Chelsea has rightfully pointed out, and it's still pretty true to this day, real grades were terrible when they first came out. And they were infamously bad. It wasn't until much, much later on that they got... What the hell is that outside? I don't know if you guys heard that. It was like this... I don't know what it... Anyways. I think it might be a street sweeper or something. I don't know. Because real grades sucked when they first came out. And it wasn't like, it was a problem, only known by diehard Gundam fans. And so... and obviously, well, they got better as they come on, came along. But that took a while. So why? Well, there was still plenty. And it's not impossible, and it would have been impossible for you know, the better master grades and real grades to kind of coexist. So what happened? What happened to master grade, do you think? P Bondi, enough said. Is that the reason? I have no idea. I do have some beef with P Bondi, just cause like it's just kind of inconsistent. Sometimes with P Bondi, it's like gimmicky stuff that no one would ever actually want. And then other times it's like, wait, no, that's like a character I want. Why is it way more expensive? And I'm sure there's like some, you know, reason like, oh, it required more special parts or sort of like, but which I'm sure is their reasoning for why you know, the Dragon Gundam, Rose Gundam, all like the whole Shuffle Alliance are kind of limited, but 70% of P Bondi, 70% of modern MG releases are P Bondi. Wait, really? Reason is FOMO makes money. I've heard FOMO before, but what does FOMO stand for? Sorry if I'm a little bit of a fool. Well, and also 70%, really? Energy saver. Oh, my laptop. Oh, shit. Oh, my laptop wasn't plugged in. Oof, that could have been bad. There we go. Fear of missing out. Oh, God. Ugh. What a horrible but absolutely correct term. Go in. There we go. What are some other? Yeah, no. Okay, now we connect this up. Most resellers are just Bondi ghost companies. You know, I could see that. That's one of those things that like I I absolutely can see that, especially because if you go to, there are plenty of like independent toy stores you go to, and they're like totally normal. But I swear, there are some that are like very, oh my God, the rubbery hands. I don't, so weird. Yeah, I'll put on Shining Finger later, but strange. Okay, now we got to build the other hand. But then there's also, I think there's another aspect. I do know, okay, this is a broad overview, so feel free to point out if I'm wrong. I think there was a point where also Master Grade maybe started to get, like, maybe it was like a little bit more, it became a little bit more alienating for your casual consumer. Or maybe, I don't know. I'm only saying that because, you know, if you look at sort of when the drop-off for Master Grade's popularity starts, or terms of releases, it does start around the time of Master Grade 3.0, which Master Grade 3.0 had a lot, was kind of a vibe shift, and not in the and a vibe shift in a way that like kind of turned off a lot of people. Like there are people who like there are people who out there who do like the 3.0. Shit, which screw is it? Oh, which, if you like the 3.0, more power to you, but is a screw missing? Shit. Then it's all starting to have original molds and main suits into it. Main suits in P Bondi is, ugh, what an unholy choice of words there. Because I feel like any main suit should be like a normal release. Is this it? Just gonna check something. M24. It should be another screw of like kind of like flat bit at the bottom, but did I open the wrong bag? Let's separate the screws. I think I did open the wrong bag. Hope this doesn't get confusing. Okay, so then we these all look like the same screws, so but one way to find out. the entire F90 line. Was the F90 line bad? Bad or overly complicated? I do know also around the time that this was just, again, a very broad reading. So again, feel free to point out if I'm being stupid. So the Gundam series that was kind of out around the time that Master Grade was starting to die out was a series called Age. And again, very broad overview, but from everything that everyone tells me, Age sucks ass. Age, everyone, Age is kind of like the whipping boy of Gundam. And I haven't seen it. Maybe people are wrong. Although I did read one, I did hear about its quote-unquote twist involving the aliens, which is such utter bullshit that, and so old and hack that I'm actually kind of amazed they did it in 2011. Or 2013, yeah. And from what I read, they were planning on doing master grades because in case you don't know, Gundam Age, the whole thing is it takes place over the course of 100 years and tackles this one family's path. And so and each of the generations of Sun gets their own robot, or inherits the Gundam, which is kind of a neat idea, kind of, and apparently the first the first Master Grade sold so badly they had to cancel the other two. And really think about that. That's a lot of resources and R&D just wasted and put it into something that's never going to come out. Oh, okay, cool. Age's first two arcs are neat, and then it becomes genuinely becomes worst show I've ever watched. Wow. Is it when the quote-unquote twist happens? Because again, I haven't seen I haven't seen it properly, but I am aware of the twist, and I hate that twist so much. Which, just conceptually, that twist is so stupid. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna say what it is. From what I can, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Haven't watched it again. My apologies. But so the interesting thing about the show is that rather than rather than fighting humans, as is kind of normal for Gundam. Now the enemies are aliens for the first time, which some people have a problem with, just because Gundam was the first show to kind of be like, no, we're not fighting aliens, we're just fighting man and all the ramifications of war and all that. But here's the thing. All right. Gundam has been around so long and has been so copied. Nowadays, alien invader plots with Gundam are just as common. Robots fighting other humans is nowadays so common that And Gundam has used it so many times. And maybe it was time to get some alien on. Oh, God. So, like... So it actually sounds kind of interesting. And, like obviously, so it's a case where, like, technically speaking, it's familiar territory for a lot of other anime, but maybe for Gundam, like, this is kind of bold, brash, and new. Ooh, what would aliens be like in the world of Gundam? Then, like, maybe we can introduce other alien species along with, like, you know, the big bad evil ones. And there are so many ways to kind of fit in, like, the usual messaging of Gundam with aliens. And then they reveal that the aliens were humans all along. And then, as Chofi says, it tries to make them overly sympathetic after, like, spending seasons being, like, uber moxie evil. And it's just like, come on. Like, actually fuck off with that. It's so dumb. And it's so old hat. I'm getting messages on my phone? What's my wife texting me? Oh no. I'm not getting into it. It's funny, but I'm not getting into it. Anyways, why does this screw not want to work? It's because I don't hate it enough. One, two, three, four. I think I needed another, like, shiny silver one. No, that one's clearly too big. That one's also way too big. That's not it. I swear to fuck, if I'm missing a screw, I'm going to be very angry. Oh, wait, this might be it. Luckily for me, I have alternate screws. Let's see if I got one. I got alternate screws in case of an emergency. Let me keep trying some first. Oh, actually, this one might be it. Why are none of these screws? Oh, wait. What are you? I don't think I've tried you yet. I think it is this one then. Okay, I think that might work. Just get in there. Get in! So weird. It's so weird. It's like none of the screws I'm putting in want to work. Also, all these screws I brought out, I don't think any of them will fit either. Weird. What about you? No, that's too big. You look way too, yeah, no, you're way too big. Why would you? I don't get it. Let me look around a bit. Hold on. Oh, hello. Found it. I think. Only one way to find out. It fits. There we go. There we go. Oh, that was a bit of a panic. Next, E7. No, E10. Yeah, so, by all accounts, like, age is like, ages fell off hard, so a lot of the merch, from what I could tell, had to end up being canceled. Or the master grade kits ended up being canceled, which that's a lot of money and resources. Yes, and of course, there's also the big corona. Question, Yeah. Actually, I looked through, you know, and besides, even there, like, and of course, there's also the thing of like high grade is always going to be a lot more of a higher priority than the other than like other size classes. High grade is to like Gundam what Deluxe is for Transformers. It's the most popular size class. As you know. That's a worry. Why is it not twist? Okay, I think that's as good as it's going to get for getting it on. I'll take a closer look later. But for now, let's get the rest of this guy, this bad boy attached. Okay, next. Oh my God. I just saw something very funny in regards to old Domon. I'll talk about it in a little bit. Why does this not want to go on? feels like it should be able to go on more, but it just doesn't want to. Look at the peg and peg all. No, I did. Like, it feels like it should be able to go around a lot more, but it just doesn't. That might be why it looks hideously warped. There we go. It just got warped. I think it just got warped in the warped somehow. Like, okay, there we go. Okay, now we need F. Are we making the legs? Weird. This has a very weird order of doing things. 7, 9, and 12. Oh, bloody hell, it's another one of these. Sometimes I will say Bandai's instructions for the most part are pretty easy to follow. But the thing is, but I kind of feel like a lot of them sometimes it feels like they're really, like, they don't always make the, like, what specific hole you need to plug it into clear. Okay. Let's get the other one. I need C, C1, C2. I am interested to see like how the articulation on this guy is, just because I do have a little bit of a bonus, because I think this guy's honestly not going to be the hardest master grade to put together. How long have we been streaming? Yeah, like barely an hour or so, and we're well, actually, well, I'll show it off for a little bit, but we'll see. It depends. And then I6. Okay, we need some rubber bits. Oh, come on. So, that'll be these bits then. Rubber soles on the feet. That's not something you really get anymore. Probably because, you know, rubber melts. But, okay, there we go. So next I need, I still need more from I, actually. I need I5. It's 2 bits for my 5 coming up. Okay, I need 2 from C5, so. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna plug actually a collectible shop recently. So the shop I got this from is Xavier Cal's Customs and Collectibles in Pomona. They were selling this kit and for a really good price. And also, you guys remember that Hello Kitty Gundam I got, the one that was like $50 on like eBay? They got a huge shipment in, and they're selling that kit for I want to say like $30 right now. So if you want to get that the Hello Kitty, if you want to get your hands on the Hello Kitty Gundam, because it is a bit of a fun kit, a fun goofy time. Get it from Xavier Cal. He's actually got it for a halfway decent price. Nice. I go to that shop all the time. Owner is super chill. Oh, and they got a really nice selection actually. They got Transformers, they got anime figurines, they got Blokies, they got a little bit of everything. Helps that they're also a lot closer to me than okay, so the area I'm in, Inland Empire, like the big toy shop in Inland Empire is Toy Arena, who are great, but they're also quite a bit more expensive. Well, and also no, not expensive. A bit of a further drive for me. So oh, Xavier Cal kind of existing is really nice because they're very close by and they have good deals. So I'm gonna plug them. Ow, I bumped my chin. Okay, not really ow, but oof. Running low on these bits, so I'm guessing that we're probably going to be, that a lot of the legs kind of already pre-made, which is fine. I mean, it's not like we're getting well, actually no, we still got a lot of bits there, so now we need E. I got my version of this kit for 52 Canadian or 35. As it's not rubber. Oh, it's not rubber. It's just like a rubbery plastic. Fair enough. Yeah, so yeah, I got this for, he sold it to me for 30 bucks, which is pretty nice. Although 35, yeah, that feels about worth it. I don't know if it's like, you know, like, you know, I always have my phone on hand just to see if the price is worth it for a lot of these guys, and I think 35, and I think around the $30 range for most, keyword being most, master grades is a good deal, even if they're an older kit that's been re-released a bit, because I know, again, this figure, I don't know when this guy had to have been reissued a bunch of times in the past. Okay, and then we click. So next. Click. E for trip. Ah. Oh. Sorry about that. Sometimes a man needs to sneeze. Oh, I forgot to put this on the other arm because I was trying to get this arm on correctly. Okay. So we're going to need a lot more of G now. In fact, it seems like we're going to be just needing... In fact, kind of looks like we're going to be finishing off G very shortly. Oh, wait, these are F. My stupid ass. This one's G. Yes. So I need 1522. Ooh, we're making pistons. Are these going to be actual pistons or fake pistons, I wonder? Or I guess let me phrase it a little bit better. Is it going to actually vaguely look like it's going to be like kind of a piston effect? Or is it going to be just, you know, is it going to look more akin to, say, you know, it's in there, or it's just a layering effect that looks nice but doesn't actually move? Because we have had that. There's a lot going on here. So let me see what the hell is going on for all of this. Okay, we're gonna need some more screws in a little bit too. We're gonna need the F runner. We're almost done with this one though, at least. So we need what I can only call a plastic washer. I'm just gonna get this part out just for later, because we're practically almost done with this runner. Next I need G14. He wants me to do it by this part here. Oh God, we're gonna have to screw. Thank goodness for the box. Okay, screw it in. Pretty good ankle pivot for the time, must be said. And then we, and then we get some, more screws. Are you tired of me screwing? You would start. Okay. Didn't miss anything, right? Doesn't look like it, thank goodness. And that's just essentially an ad for what we're building already. Okay, so I need G10 and G11. Okay, and then we get the pistons. These actually look like they are gonna form like legitimate pistons, which will be actually pretty cool. Oh, gotta get a polycap. Looks like a piston, and it works. Ah. That's interesting. So, excuse me. That's interesting. So, the Shining Gundam came out first before the God Gundam. Interesting. You'd think, like, you know, with how popular Burning Gundam is, you'd think they would, you'd think they want to get, come on, get in there. You'd think they want to get, well, then again, I guess, if you want to get into it, technically speaking, the Shining Gundam has the, oh, come on, get in there. Oh, there's a little sprue or like gross. Okay, got it in. Hello. Okay, now we're going to be putting all sorts of armor bits on. Okay. E4, E5. E4. Ooh. Okay, there we go. Ooh, very impressive piston. Nice. Okay, nice. A7, A13. That's E, you fucking fool. 7A13. Where are you? There we go. Click, click every trip. Came out first in all G Gundam MGs using Shining Master Girl or ultimately wear a peak, however. Interesting. So Shining Gun. Oh. Oh. Yeah. I mean, so far this frame. I gotta imagine actually. I gotta imagine actually that making. I didn't need this part. Making the cast of G Gundam, everybody having a Gundam, I gotta imagine was a stroke of economic genius back in the day. Because really think about it. With most of the parts already being used from the Gundam, it means you were able to recycle a certain amount of parts and like save like, you know, pennies on the dollar in comparison to like other Gundam shows. No. Because if you really think about it, from what I've like seen of G Gundam and like what I'm picking up context of the time, I think there was a lot of uncertainty about like Gundam around that time, like, because as iconic as Gundam is still, there's always gonna be, and as iconic as it is, there is always that fear in the back of your mind of like, you know, it's a fad, it can die. And no one wants to admit that, and it's hard to admit that for something like Gundam. But like, keep in mind, at the time there was no Gundam statue. There was no, you know, big movies. There wasn't any of that. Gundam was a very popular robot still, but it wasn't the first like giant robot to the party. And even then, like the then latest Gundam show, Victory, from what I can tell, was kind of an underperformer. So you gotta imagine there was a lot of uncertainty about Gundam. So if they're gonna make a new Gundam series, it's gotta be one that won't cost too much to produce. And G Gundam was a big hit. So big hit, and you know, and while it is radically different from any Gundam show before, and let's not even kid ourselves, it's still radically different even compared to some other like bizarre, some of the other like oddball entries in Gundam. Shout out oddly as a master grade as well. Reviews from Burning Gun aside from the lower legs. Interesting. Cause let's think about it. Burning Gundam G Gundam could have flopped easily. Like, instead of like commentary of war, it's big goofy robots. The art style has shifted over from Gundam's realism, semi-realism with a little bit of that like Tezuka touch, because you know that was a lot of what anime was doing at the time. It shifts over to this like that super angular, very goofy, cartoony art style. it shifted over to the Slayer's art style, essentially, because that was the big art style during much of the mid to not quite the end of the 90s, but getting there. I always call it the Slayer style, because that's kind of the thing I think of the most when I think of that art style, that very hyper angular, very exaggerated. At the time, a lot of anime fans called it. What did they call it? They called it little. Called it like big mouth, big open mouth style, or big head, little mouth, or something along those lines. They called it something. Back in the day, they called it bean mouth. I'm kidding. Do you guys remember like the I don't know if a lot of you guys remember, but do you remember some of like the weirder like over defensiveness that a lot of people had with that one Pixar movie, Turning Red? And like a lot of like at the time, you got a lot of people who were insanely defensive about Turning Red. And I will say, like, some of the hate that Turning Red got was a little bit unfounded. Like for example, there was that really funny critique, like the bring up 9/11 and that guy. Although honestly, that whole situation is honestly a lot funnier than anything in the actual movie. Dragon Ball Gundam, yeah. Turning Red got hate? Yeah, no. Turning Red got a lot of hate when it came out. But it also got a lot of people really defensive about it. And honestly, it was a weird thing where... So, a lot of the hatred for Turning Red was more so in regards to, like... A lot of people had a problem with the art style of the movie because it was that Pixar style that kind of started with Luca. That's the one. It started with Luca and like this was at the peak of, you know, the critique in regards to this art style that was. It kind of is like a blanket term that a lot of people also that can be quite overused, called like Cal art style or Bean Mouse style. There are a lot of different names for it, and people were a little bit were kind of getting sick of it. But this was also during a time when Disney had a lot of these. I swear, Disney used to have like this. They were able to conjure up just the most like defensive, bizarre, like terminally online people to get really defensive about their movies. Doesn't matter if they're good or bad. And I think people only became aware of just like how obnoxious they could be after what movie was it? Oh, that's gonna throw me off. It was this one particular. it was this one particular movie, fucking Elemental. Like, people saw their attempts to market Elemental, and it was, well, with that, what's that character's name? Claude, like this freaking nothing character that shows up for only like 2 minutes in the movie, and they try to like, and Disney clearly were grasping at straws for ways to hype up the movie, because people forget Elemental did not do well when it first came out. It wasn't until like word of mouth spread and the Koreans started watching it, that people actually gave it some attention. That's true, by the way. So for a lot of people, that was kind of the moment they noticed, and it was kind of a thing that had happened over and over again. They noticed that Disney had these like these people who did like weird overhype. Like there was that one guy who saw Captain Marvel 120 times. There was freaking, I'm losing it. Oh, basically all of Encanto, all of the marketing for Encanto felt just so like fraudulent and just so like artificially inflated. Because I'll be honest, and Turning Red was one of them, and it had and you had people who like were giving it like kind of unfair criticism. Like I said, there was a guy who was like, it didn't bring up 9/11. But at the same time, there were like legit criticisms, and the art style, at the time it was like, come on. At the time we were like, oh, come on, Pixar isn't like slacking. And some people are even like, well, Pixar used to make movies like this, and they would always show the dog. And it's like, there's a difference between technical limitations and artistic vision, guys. Come on, that's petty shit. And then, but nowadays, a couple years later, a lot more people have kind of realized, hey, Pixar have been using this art style a lot, and there was that one TV show they did, Win or Lose, where now you have that same art style on like a bare bones TV budget, and it looks horrific, like horrendously bad. And so, yeah, maybe they did have a point. Right? And hell, if you really want to get down to it, there's also the unfortunate aspect of like making a movie about teens, and it's especially a problem with a lot of movies about sort of teenage characters. People have been taking notice nowadays. People think the way to write teenage characters is just have them say a lot of catchphrases and also have them say a lot of catchphrases, make some kind of celebrity reference, and then have a moment where they're like, I'm having anxiety, that kind of thing. And it's repetitive, it's annoying. I'm not saying like teenage characters or kid characters are always written the best. Like let's not even kid ourselves. No pun intended. But it is annoying how a lot of the ones like lately are written to be just in this kind of way that feels immediately dated. Like there was that Ninja Turtles movie that came out a little while ago. I swear to God, every 5 minutes they're saying like some obnoxious like catchphrase that you've already, that was, I'm sure was hilarious at the time. But nowadays it's just like, oh, this is just, shut up. Shut up, you idiots. And of course, the other problem is also that they don't that they have with that writing is when all the characters are talking that exact same way, it doesn't make, and you always get the sense of like, well, that's how teenagers talk. Like there's a way to do it so that it doesn't get annoying, and two, that's not a good thing. Really not. I don't know. And it's especially funny because nowadays, if Turning Red were to come out now, this might be worth a discussion. This is gonna be so confusing to people who aren't American or don't have a lot of contact with people who aren't Asian American. And so, please, for the love of God, bear with me on this one. There's been like there's been a backlash to like certain kind of stories about there's been a kind of like this mini not like overly serious, but there is a backlash, something of like a critique about in regards to a lot of story is about Asia, from a lot of Asian Americans about like their kind of trauma's not the right word, about their upbringing and a lot of their and a lot of the little details they've brought up. Like I know a lot of I have some like Chinese American, I've got some Chinese and Japanese friends who were like, oh my God, write about something else, please. It's a very common thing. So that's already a very common thing. And the other thing also is nowadays, like, Disney have a certain way of writing a lot of their characters, particularly their female characters, that's gotten a lot of hefty backlash. You know, the adorkable, quirky blob. And so if Turning Red came out now, I think if Turning Red came out and like Jessica came out now, I wonder if it would get more of a very different kind of backlash. Maybe I'm wrong. I find it curious. It's just, I don't know. You do, but then again, of course, you know, there's the whole thing of like, well, some writers, there are a lot of writers who are hacks, and they take up like whatever's like the one writing trope that worked. So, you know, maybe a writer saw, like, what's her name? Amy Tan? And they saw like Joy Luck Club, you know, was bacon. It's like, I could write my own Joy Luck Club. And it's like, we don't need another Joy Luck Club. We got like, we got plenty of other stories. Tell your story. Hell, there's just been a backlash against, like, you know, therapy shows or therapy talk writing in general. Okay, like, I watched, what movie did I watch? The Amazing Digital Circus movie. Love that movie. Very good. Good Lord. But the worst parts of that movie are whenever they're having like, I think Gooseworks is a good writer for the most part, but she's much better at writing, quiet, either like wacky, funny comedy. In terms of drama, she's good at, I think she's actually quite good at very quiet and serious scene and quiet drama rather than like, but whenever she overwrites, it's really painful actually. I hated Jax's speech in the in that one episode, and I especially hated and there were a lot of those problems in the recent Digital Circus movie too. Count how many times they say it's not your fault really early on in the movie. It's still love that movie, and like, but it feels like everybody wants to have their own like it's not your fault like Good Will Hunting bit, forgetting the fact that the whole conflict of that movie is the main character is an idiot. I mean, he believes Howard Zinn. Of course he's an idiot. The camera's sorry. I'm sorry for rambling. Holy shit. I like talking about movies. All right, let me see what you guys. Mom, they hit the panic button. I knew someone was gonna bring that. I love that. Everything involving it. The game mixtape existed, perfectly described that terrible archetype. Yeah, no kidding. Knew how to write teens as actual people. Yeah, no, like seriously, Digimon has a surprisingly like really nice way of blending in. Good evening. Hello, Yoipla. Hello. Jax is a terrible character and deserved everything he got. Why would you say something so controversial yet so true at the same time? Jax is, okay. No. Like, Jax is one of those characters. I like Jax as a character. But at the same time, come on, him getting it for what he did to Ribbit. Yeah, he deserves something. I do like though that everybody nowadays people. I do love that people are calling Jax the king of queen, the king of fumblers now. Actually, because like he could have had reasonably healthy relationships with like Ragatha, Pomni, and Ribbit, and he just fucked them all over. Like, Jax, you idiot. Like, speaking of slang writing from earlier, actually, there's a movie called there's this one Danish comedy movie called like Turkle in Trouble. And the thing is with Turkle in Trouble is that apparently it's considered one of the funniest animated comedies in all of Denmark. But the problem is it's like borderline impossible to translate because it relies so much on slang, especially like slang that was popular. Did I put this in wrong? Yeah, I did. It's funny too because if you look at the animation's kind of hideous, and there's like two English dubs. One that's really unfunny and terrible, and then another one that's funny because the editing makes it like Xavier Renegade Angel. All right. Okay, next up I think is the waist. So oh, Yoipla, actually, I did want to message you. I did want to actually send you a message, actually. And, oh, hopefully, how do I translate? Booting up the Google Translate. Okay. Okay, let me make sure this is correct. I just want to say, Yoipla, thank you for arigato. Thank you for offering the Gundam, but mailing stuff over from Japan would be quite high, so just donating to my stream helps out a lot. Thank you, though. Arigato. When I build Gundam, I build both arms at the same time, of being repetitive. Same goes for the legs. That's a fair point. I like to build like a lot of the body. To be honest, I follow. I'm a simple man. I typically just follow the instructions that are given to me. So I need G8. I follow what's on the instructions. I want to, because I kind of approach this how I would. I like to approach Gundam building because technically speaking, in many ways, I am a Gundam noob. So what I want to try and do is I want to try and approach this how I would like realistically what a lot of other like Gundam first time builders would do, you know. Oh, and a lot of them would, you know, follow the rules, put the stickers on. A lot of them would, build, and a lot of them would follow them, build the stickers on, or follow like the path laid out in the manual. Oh, I think it is. I think it is something to always take into note when you're reviewing a model kit is like, how would this go not only for you, but like how would this also go for the person and who is not an expert building this. All right, and then we can. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We need stickers. Uh-oh, it's very thin black strips. Where's my black one? Not on your life, mister. Although, to be fair, this is the first time I've had to whip out the, the little guy, the little black guy so far. So, Okay, I'll clean up some of the excess in just a moment. There we go. Actually, let me get that little notch. Little notch there. Keep this for later. There we go. Careful with the plastic panel liners. They can cause the plastic to crack. No, you told me. No, I'm just kidding. I know what you're talking about. Hold on. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about like certain kind of and yeah, that can happen, but it only on certain types of plastic. So this plastic right here is PS plastic, which Gundam markers like. The type of plastic it doesn't like is ABS plastic. That's why when I was like, I want to get into painting my own Gundams, I made sure to get both acrylic ones for ABS plastic and just having a wide variety of colors, and Gundam markers. Because the thing is, Gundam markers, they're way better at painting, but they also are very prone, but they are alcohol based. So unfortunately, that tends to eat through ABS plastic, which is a bummer because I have a lot of stuff with ABS plastic that, quite frankly, it'd be nice to kind of paint up all nice, but that's why we got the acrylics. I actually make my own panel liners by mixing tap water acrylic backlining with a drop of dish soap. Hey, nice. Again, I got like a standard Gundam panel liner, and I apply a very, very light amount. Like just enough to kind of paint and fill it up, but not... Well, actually, I don't really panel line that often, to be honest. The one I absolutely was like, no, I have to panel line this, was the Turn A Gundam. Because without the panel lining, the Turn A Gundam just looks so wrong. You want to get that Sid Mead level of... that Sid Mead, however his name's pronounced. You want to get that lovely little bit of panel line detail. A1. Ah, the famous red crotch. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, ooh, that's impressive. Actually, if what we're making next is what I think it is. I think, guys, we are going to be able to get some butterfly action in. G23. So this is 23. They'll go on the left, right. I need G26. La 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 la. Click, there we go. And then we just store that away. Oh, gotta say, that motion was nice and smooth for the butterfly. Smooth action. G17. Uh-oh, looks like we're gonna need a another screw in a little bit. Oh, wow. No way. That's how we're doing this. That's really funny. What screw do we need? That big one. How are we gonna? No, I think we need a bigger one. Yep. Oh my God, if this works as I think it's gonna work, the chest crunch,
chest crunch on this guy is going to be insane. Oh, wait, actually, hold on. Well, no, there's still a decent bit of chest crunch action. Oops! And then I need A24. Okay, I need B now. B3, 5. Okay, I need B2 and D3. And I also need D2. Okay, get the jewel. The jewel. Oh, and it's maintained its stickiness. Wow. This does not want to go in. Next, I need some parts from C. C 10 and 9. There we go. Click. That's better. All right, now we're making the head, it seems. So C11. Uh-oh. I see where we got to put a sticker. At least done with that runner. Then A19. 19, U. Some little translucence. Ah, there you are. Hello, stickies. A little too far. Okay, nice. Next, we need D. D and A31. We're probably going to need A30 in a little bit too, so I'll cut that one out now. So D7, 6, 10, and 9. Let's see, 6, 10, no, 7, 9, 10. And then I need H1. Ah, so this is those rubbery bits. Feels reasonably sturdy, so that's good. Then A2. Then we got to put on a stupidly tiny sticker that's barely. Will I feel the urge to A27. Okay. Yep, now I need the faceplate. Beautifully sculpted head, it must be said. Head. I leave my black one? Is it in my office? I think it is. Hold up. Hold up just a moment. I left my black panel liner in my office. That's weird. Found my I like my dark gray one, but I have a black one. Weird. Where did it go? Ah, there it is. I'm gonna panel line. I'm gonna panel line a very, very small amount on his for his mouth, because right now it looks a little bit. It looks just the tiniest bit. Just a little bit. Just enough to. Rub off the excess. There we go. I just wanted to add a little bit because you couldn't really see the mouth too well. Ooh, what you saying there, Yoipla? Ooh, what you say? Gunpla is a universal thing. Yeah, yeah. Gunpla's for everybody. 9. Okay. I love the little tiny pilot figures. That's the one thing from with the shift from master grade to real grade that really bums me out. I love. Where'd I put the? Oh, there it is. I love the little pilot figures, and I wish we could. Arigato, Yoipla. Arigato. Thank you. Okay, let's. I think right now we're making the core lander, aren't we? Okay, a 32 and 33. Click. Okay, I can get rid of this one. I need another from Yeller. D1. We are almost done. Oh, I already got those bits out earlier. Hey. Speaking of the Sims earlier, speaking of the Sims with the music and Japanese stuff in general, are any of you guys familiar with a game called Sim Tower, also called the Tower in Japan? I really want to play that. Add it again. I played it for a little bit on like an emulator. It's so fucking good. I've heard the sequel is more of the same, but just has even more. Ah, so these are the skirts. So this is gonna go on like that. All right, so now we're gonna be getting things assembled. So eeps. So we pop this in like this. Actually, I'm gonna take off this skirt bit for now. Oh, now it should be able to go in a little bit easier. That's interesting. So it wants us to put it in like this. Oh, I see why. It's got one of those interlocking kind of mechanisms. Okay, there we go. That actually makes a lot of sense, especially for the time. And then we get the head. Click. Then we'll get the Corlander. Very simple, lovely backpack. And there's a little sword jobby we gotta insert. There's a little beam saber somewhere. There it is, number 35. Ooh, it's got a proper scabbard and handle. That's nice. It's looking good. All right, let's cut out old Doma. Oh, you know what this reminds me of, actually? The way it's unpainted, all rubbery. It reminds me of those old Kinnikuman figures, the old muscle figures. Yoi probably will definitely know what I'm talking about, but like, but to kind of explain for the younger peoples, Kinnikuman is a very long-running shonen manga in Japan, and incredibly about like alien wrestlers. The original show never got released stateside, though weirdly, the sequel series, Ultimate Muscle, was brought over. And in fact, another interesting thing is the main kind of, is that the toys for Kinnikuman were released in America under the name Muscle, where they were actually pretty popular little things for a little bit. They even released the kind of terrible Famicom game, NES game in the States too. Oh, gotta be careful with the little antennae here. They are prone to falling off. I heard of it, yeah. Fun fact about Ultimate Muscle, it was not super popular in Japan from what I could tell, but it was incredibly popular in America, to the point where 4Kids actually commissioned a sequel series for America, which is not something you get all the time, but that is cool. All right, I gotta get, let me get the shining fingers out. No! No copyright music. Besides, I'm almost done. Actually, is there? I'm worried there might be a. Oh. Oh, I see. Ah, it's a little disappointing. Understandable, but a little disappointing still. So for the super mode, you kind of have to swap some parts around for it, which I bet the real Grey did that a little bit differently. Whatever, this is still a cool figure. Can't blame them for the time. It was... All right. You know what? Does look really cool though. Oh, this still, for the time, this is quite good. Quite a nice, nifty little Gundam. I can't remember if he had this patch in the show or not, but I really like the whole the King of Hearts symbol, so I'm gonna add it in. There we go. All right. Let me see what Yoy Plus is saying. I gotta take a shower. I stink, dude. Holy shit. Let's simply enjoy gunplay together. Yeah. Yeah. All right. And I gotta say, pretty snazzy. He's big too. Holy shit. So let's check out like the articulation on this guy, and then we'll get him into super mode. Arms, 360 degrees. Head. Oh no. That's not gonna be a problem, I hope. Okay. Head has some maneuverability, not a lot of tiltage, but you can rotate and go up decently far and back. There is a really nice butterfly, actually. That's actually better than some modern figures. We do have T-pose. Shoulder can go up and down. How many at the elbow do we have? Ah! Let's try this with the other elbow. Let's see if that works a little bit better. Yep, so more than 90 at the elbow. And the sticker came off. Uh-oh. Stay. Stay. We got a little bit of rotation at the elbow there. Wrist swivel on the ball joint, obviously. And then we do have some crunchage and a teeny bit of side to side. Not a crazy amount, but some. Let me see about this. Let me see if I can fix this. I got one way. It's getting sticky in here. Just a little bit though. I'll let. Okay. Let's let that dry off for a bit. Oh my God. All right, do we have, yep, we got that kind of splitting armor for the super mode, which is really nice. Let's look at the legs for the time. So we go up we go up pretty far. We can go back a lot farther once we move that out of the way. Not a mediocre spread, but we do get good backwards. Is there rotation at the thigh? No, there is not. But we do get some really nice ankle pivotage. So articulation is pretty all right pretty good for the time. I imagine, you know what? Actually, I imagine at the time this was a lot better articulation than what you get for most Gundam figures at the time. You know what I mean? Okay, let's put this away. Right. I will leave him to dry off. God, they gave you a ton of these polycaps. We didn't need to. I just realized something horrifying, actually. Did I put these on backwards? No, I didn't. And it's falling apart. Ugh. All right. So I'm going to let that dry for now, but that's really fun. That's a really fun build. And I love the little dome on. But it is not the only kit I'm going to show off today, because I'm going to save these screws. Don't know why, just feel like it. Let me clean up a little bit here first. All right. Let me get these other hands out too, and then I'll show off the other thing I wanted to show you guys, because I got something cool recently, but there's a bit of a catch. Okay, let me get all this. Okay, there we go. So I did want to show something else I got. I'm going to review it sometime. I might do like a generic kind of filming stream recently soon enough. I'm going to wrap up in a little bit. But have a look here. Yeah, you can't hold your shield, but that's okay. Take a look at what I got my hands on. Let me get him. There you go. So this here is the original, as in like the very first ever Master Grade 1.0 Grandpa. This is where it all began. And I bet you're wondering, well, why didn't you build it on stream? Unfortunately, I had to get this used from someone else online, because trying to find this guy complete is ridiculously expensive. But at the same time, I wanted to show him off show him a little bit on stream, because it is cool seeing where it all began for Gundam, you know? Like this, for Master Grade at least, you know, this is how this whole crazy hobby got started. Also, they lost the original red piece that went on top. Let's fix that. Let's fix that really quick. So yeah, this. There we go. It's just cool seeing the original RX-78, and I kind of want to do a review of it at some point. It is a shame I won't be able to talk about the build experience much, just because, well, I can't really build it, kind of. I mean, I could disassemble it, but there is a part of me that is worried about, like, parts that are this old. They don't call him Grandpa for nothing. Okay, there we go. So right little paint job. Get rid of some of the excess paint. Let me get some of this. just gonna take off the crest for a bit and fix this up. I don't know. I just wanted to show this. Well, I'm planning a review of it, but I don't know. I definitely sometime in the future I do want to grab myself the original. RX-78 Master Grade 2.0 because that looks really cool. And I do have 3.0, but that's for another day. Also, whoever had this before, you didn't do a particularly great job applying the stickers. It always looks like he's kind of veering over elsewhere. I do like with Gundam markers, you can easily just like rub out like excess paint. I think that is kind of handy. There we go. That's better. But yeah, this is the 1.0 version. Look for this in a future review. Just wanted to show it off. It's quite fascinating, albeit insanely flawed. Like, the shield is basically held on by sheer willpower. Wait, did the guy who had this before, did he attach this upside down, I wonder? Okay, I don't know. I just wanted to show it off. It's a cool little figure. Very, very dated, but still pretty cool. Again, oh dear. Let's fix that up. Let's fix you up. Some of these joints could use a little bit of tightening, actually, just because, you know, this is an old boy. There we go. But otherwise, pretty cool figure. It's missing a lot of stuff because it's incomplete, but that's okay. I still enjoy it. And this was a really fun build too. Let me make sure everything's all good up here. Okay, that bend works. Okay. Oh. Or not. I am not going to be able to win with this guy, am I? With this guy's arm. Come on. Why does this not want to go on? We add something and then just garbage happens. I hate that. Come on. I will, please, be nice and attach. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that to dry for the time being. Hopefully it'll repair itself. Gonna also apply just a little bit to the ah, great. Ah, this is why I hate using super glue. No, no, get off, get off, get off, get off, get off, get off, get off. All right, I think that'll be all for today. Thank you all for joining me. Hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you, everybody. See ya. And thank you for the donation, Yoipla.